wrecked all of my hopes and dreams. I'm pretty sure I raised from the small blind in the bracelet event and then disappeared into the ether because I came back with less chips. So that's not fun. Speaking of Ace King, I just had it. Hold on, let me get the chat roll going. Let me make sure that this is actually live on our site, etc., etc. Technical difficulties, man, it's brutal. It's brutal. Cracked 22,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. It's an uptick of 1,000 since we started doing these World Series streams. Pretty big deal. Now I'm starting to get nervous. It doesn't look like we're getting a preview stream. We do, however. Let's refresh. There we go. I found it. We're good. We're back. We're ready to rock. We're ready to handle this giveaway. We're ready to double up in this old bracelet event. Blind versus blinds here. At this depth, I think Ace 3 is a reasonable check back. This is a board that we'll be defending at least one street on. Alright, chat should be good to roll. I think we want to protect our hand a little bit at this point. It's a nice pot to pick up. So it looks like I missed an entire level, which is no fun. We'll survive. Over here we got the old open ender. Not a bad candidate to check raise. I do think that Pepster will have some stabs here, but with TC owns being so short, I think it's better to just play a heads up pot here. Puts him in a little bit more of an awkward situation. He has difficulty with like middle pair type holdings to continue. We're going to play a little bit more of an aggro preflop strategy at these depths while we still have a bullet in the chamber. I think if this sort of freeze out, we would play a little less aggro here. This hand can go either way, really. It functions fine as both. No fun when we get ripped on. Just have a fold now. I don't recognize any of these names, so I'm much more inclined to... over here, we turn the nuts in a check back spot. Just wins, no surprise. Whoops, forgot to press go loud. We still got. There we go. We're back.
It's alright. It's okay. Don't you cry.
All right.
Eula Mayo dresses torn like faces you have worn, like the promises I swore I'd never break. In the hills there is a mine. For 13 years you spent your life looking for
Sorry, I'm running diagnostics.
while he slept. Deeper in the earth you go, finding footprints in the gold. Hearing music as you slowly go insane.
All right.
Girl,
It's never easy, guys. It's never easy.
it's alright.
What up, Jamin?
It's okay. Don't
All right, now that we got everybody back, we got our little speed bump out of the way early. Let's talk giveaway. Let's talk giveaway. We're giving away an extra 5% today to the best comment on our Instagram page. Don't care what photo, video, etc. you leave it on. Just the most creative content or the most creative comment is going to win. You also must be following in order to qualify. That's it. Those are the two speculations. Not speculations. Two qualifications. We just need you to follow and leave a comment on one of our posts. That's it. No big deal. The traditional 1% given out to 5 people, same as always. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, leaving a comment on the most recent video where Jamie Kerstetter tortures my fucking soul. You'll find that at S4Y Academy on IG. Queen's a pretty good through card for us. I think we can double barrel here pretty freely. We're kind of in the cage on the other table. How does this guy always fucking find it, man? We're getting absolutely wrecked today. Over here we ISO a limper. What happened? Why have I? What? Oh my god! I lost my time bank when we disconnected. Jesus Christ! Ugh! I was debating between calling and shoving there. We're just gonna have to fold the ace-10. Man, this spot. I think a shove would have been pretty good. I think a shove would have been pretty good with the 2 10s here. We had a limp under the gun off of a 20 blind stack, a little less, off of like a 17 blind stack, and I ISO. So I think that this could very well be light. Just a hand that's willing to play a 20 blind all in, which could easily be worse pairs, 9s, 8s, 7s. Could easily be ace-10. A lot of hands we're flipping with, king-queen, things along those lines. Probably way too wide, obviously, for us to ever fold. I didn't realize that was gonna fucking happen. What happened was I was in the small blind with ace-king whenever I got blue screened to death. So I must have exhausted my time bank there. Didn't realize it. And now we accidentally mucked the 10s. We accidentally mucked the 10s. Fucking brutal. In any event, we move on. We still have a great stack. Not that big of a deal. All right. Oh, man. Tough start to the day. Tough start to the day, for sure. Down to a half stack here in the 1K, getting beat up pretty good. Willow's just been wrecking us, man. We got check raised on 2 very dry boards where we shouldn't get check raised, but we were at stone bottom both times. and pretty much got wrecked. When we second barrel on that queen, it looks awkward because we have ace 10 high, which has showdown value, but we don't have a ton of bets on that card that would fold to a check raise. So we would have some clubs for sure. Probably not nut flush draws. So they would be our weaker clubs, like 7-8 of clubs, 8-9 of clubs, something to that effect. All of our queen X certainly bets, I would imagine. And if we get shown a 6, we get shown a 6, you know? This is favorable. I think we can check this one back. We just have the board kind of locked. Now we particularly have it locked. What up, Malakaboo? Good luck to you too if you're playing. I assume you are. Jamin, I skipped my workout again today. We got to get on it, man. And by we, I mean me. I need your help. These days are getting too long. So I don't really think our hand is strong enough to necessarily play an all-in pot here. I would much rather delay until the turn. We can call shove some of the times depending on what that turn card is. Not a good turn for us. Pretty easy to get away. Pretty easy check back. It's a bluffable card for us for sure. TC really shouldn't be shoving. I think this is one where we can move him off of some things, though he is short enough where he may just want to look it up. Half pot seems sufficient. We get it through. Why do I recognize the Pepster? Why is that name familiar? Kind of awkward. I think we can 3-bet here though. And then just fold to a shove. That should do it. All right, we're gonna take a 4-minute break. Come back and start firing in this fucking bracelet event. In the meantime, I'll leave you with a little poker out loud. What do you mean?
melts away and you're left holding ash, holding on to memories and regrets. And faith, you find it in the strangest place. You find it in that emptiness you can't erase. It's only natural. It's only blood and teeth and sand. It's only underneath the skin. It's only natural. You feel the pain. You got a friend. It's only on.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode number 6 on Second Thoughts. Things are getting real. This is orbit number 6. Of course, this is also going to follow along the hands from Poker Out Loud, episode 6, respectively, the sister episode. And this first hand is going to be probably the most interesting hand of, or at least one of the most interesting hands of, I don't want to say the most interesting hand, I want you guys to keep watching. This is going to be one of the more interesting hands of the entire series. It's going to be you with jacks. Nick has a better hand than you. And things are going to get a little bit weird. So let's see what happens.
All right, so we're picking up right where we left off. I got the jacks under the gun. See who thinks that I'm just bullshitting.
Okay, so this is a hand that I'm probably just going to always play against Matt's under the gun range because I think he's going to be a bit on the loser side. I'm actually not 100% sure if Matt even just looked at his hand or not, so that's kind of interesting. I know he blind raised once this session already. Anyways, I am going to probably 3-bet this hand a third of the time and call something like 2/3 of the time. And I've decided this time that I'm going to call, so that's what we're going to do here.
This hand's going to get 3-bet at 100% frequency. I think it's kind of cool to mix up different 3-bet sizes, especially with the depth. Earlier I'd been going with a larger size, something like 6 to 8x. I don't really think there's a way to prove what one size is best, especially with specific hands, so I'm not going to make a huge deal about it. I'm probably going to account for the fact for sure that it's a squeeze, so I want to give Berkey something like 2 to 1. So I think I'm just going to, I think something like 180 or so is kind of what I want. I think I'm just going to make it 200.
So this is a hand in this spot that I would have been very happy to call with, closing the action. Nick has shown from previous hands, specifically the one against me with deuces, that he's willing to sort of bloat the pot size at a position with hands that I wouldn't necessarily consider to be all that standard. So that could lean me in the direction of putting in a 4-bet here. But I think that with that read, this hand still isn't quite strong enough, and I'm more incentivized to just wait for hands with more playability. So say a hand like ace-10, ace-jack suited. Those might be hands that I would 4-bet with here, but I think a hand like this is just better served to fold.
Okay, I'm not that surprised to see some heavy aggression. Obviously, I've been very active. It's tough for these guys to believe that I have it every single time. What we need to first analyze is stack depth. Nick is seemingly about 3,000 effective, maybe a little bit more, might be closer to 4,000. So we're between 300 and 400 big blinds. Jesse obviously has significantly less. He has around 3,000. So with that said, the next thing I need to analyze is what's the best case scenario. And jacks is a pretty interesting hand to have here because it effectively falls at the bottom of my value. So I can kind of expand my value just due to the fact that the table may be overreacting to my aggression. So if we do elect to put in a 4-bet here, would be choosing a bit of a, well, we can't really induce. So we can't really choose a small size.
You guys are getting a little spicy in there, a little creative. I like it. I respect it. Give you a little bit more Leroy to carry us through the next hour. Ben Lynn said, "Good luck tonight, Berkey. If you win a bracelet, I will make a large donation to the Conrad Degen Fund." Are you playing cash with the man? What's the Instagram address again? At S4Y Academy.
place I wanna take my baby to, where the grass is green and the sky's blue, and a mossy back sadness
1,000 years old. Willow running like the sun.
I wanna lay her down when the moon's
What a
low.
hold.
I wanna wake her up in the morning light of 1,000 days.
All right, it's time to start finding some shove spots. This won't be it.
Kiss me on the lips in a cherry sweet sunrise. Hold me tight, don't ever let go. In that deep, deep country, like a sadness that won't roll away. In that deep,
Nor will this.
deep country. That's where she is, that's where I wanna stay. 'Cause in the night of her eyes, there's a light that shines. There's a girl with eyes like ocean waves. She spends my nights and steadies my days. She loves me like a river loves the sea where it rolls.
Oh, I think the Pepster went deep in one of the bracelet events. Which would explain why I recognize him.
So buy me this drink and I'll see you in the morning. Hold me tight, don't ever let go. In that deep, deep country, like a sadness that don't go away. In that deep, deep, deep country, that's where she is and that's where I wanna stay. 'Cause in the night of her eyes, there's a light that shines.
Oh man, some of these comments are good.
Let's go! God damn it, Jamie Carstetter!
Ignore that. All right, we're gonna have to wake up with a little something something here in the 1K sooner than later. Not a whole lot to speak of today. I think our best hand was sixes, which didn't perform very well. Wow. This isn't gonna be good enough. Modern Gaming says, how are you guys feeling about playing live? Is it safe even with plexiglass and masks? What do you think? I mean, it's tough to say. Obviously, it's just best if we all quarantine and distance. But the fact that these casinos are open means that that's not occurring. So it's kind of just like, how much risk are you willing to incur for yourself and those around you? In general, though, I agree with Dan. Playing live is definitely a risk. All right, good luck, guys. Let's go. Big double, big double. I'll take a fold too. Oh my God, how are we dominated? Get there, baby. Oh, we got there the wrong way. Can only chop. Could only chop. Boo. Boo. That's annoying. All right, last bullet. Let's hope for the best. How important is Adderall to playing successfully? I've literally never taken it, so I don't imagine very. Brian Roy says, just watched a few of the videos on IG. I love when Pigtails reads the group chats. It was the best. Hope you start doing it again. They were good. They give us the comedy gold, you know? Malakaboo, this image you sent is out of line, man. Just out of line. So wild. We got 25 blinds here in the bracelet event. We are just pretty much sitting on our hands at this point. The opportunity to accumulate early in this event has come and gone. We ran into some pretty shit spots. Top pair versus top pair to bust the first one. 10-8 versus Jack 8 blind versus blind to bust the second. Let's get lucky. Sometimes it takes a little bit of run good here in the early goings of these things. Kind of like what happens to us in the 75K every day. Aside from when Jamie tortured our soul. Nothing you can do about those days, you know? Got him. Here, this guy opens off of 15. We 3-bet, he calls. Flop, check, check. Turn, shove. We call. Life is good. I think this is a spot where we can check back pretty comfortably. I would bet my king high, queen high type hands a little bit more often as they block the 10. Jack is favorable for our range. Not really so much for this hand. I think we begin to bet for denial purposes, as he can call with worse and would like to shut out live cards, hands like 8-7. Eight, 7, 5, 6. Some better ace highs like ace 8. Ace 9. Wins. Bish is a gambler, man. He said, I would play live with no glass, 9-handed, and no masks. Dan Lasco just says, rip Bish. See your face on the wrecking ball. This is close. I think this is a hand we could 3-bet here. I think this is also a hand we could call. I'm going to lean call. Not a very favorable flop for the small blind. We'll flop a lot of middle pairs and bad draws with our flat call range here. Pretty easy spot for him to range bet something like 1800. 1980 is good. 4L says, Berkey went to the merch store and could not find 2X hoodies. We don't have them in stock. There wasn't a lot of demand for it, and they were an upcharge. So XL, or single X, yeah, single XL is the best we could do. Pick up a pretty good hand here. We could be all in here versus anyone at this point. I think we raise call off here pretty comfortably. It's crazy instead is deliberate. Stay here for the king queen. 25 blind stack. Oh yeah. Oh, this is an all in. Okay, now I think we ISO for sure. I think we're just all in. Yeah, I don't think we can make it like 4K and fold. 4, 5, 7. Actually, yes, we can. I regret my decision to not shove, but good chance that we just ran into it here. I don't think we can call off. The whole reason for doing this was so that we didn't have to. Yeah, he's not a known player. Okay, that's nice. Berkey, what odds do you want at winning a bracelet? I would bet at with how many events do we have left? 20 something? I would take like 12 to 1. Still have 45 minutes to qualify for the giveaway. For those of you asking, just need you to subscribe to our, or I guess follow our Instagram account. That's at S4Y Academy on IG. And leave a comment on the Jamie Kerstetter video, which is the latest post. We're going to pick 5 lucky winners to get 1% of my action in everything tonight. And then the comment that I like the most will get 5%. So 6 winners. 6 winners tonight. 10% of my action total coming out. What is today? Thursday? I didn't play Monday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Is that how this whole thing works? Is that how time works? What did I miss? Tuesday was the bounty. Yesterday was 500 freeze out. No bueno. Who am I? John Dorsey said, I left you a comment on MySpace. I wonder if I still have a MySpace page. Whatever happened to that site? Did it just die? Who am I? Berkey, what was your worst baseball game as a pitcher? Mine equals I broke records my freshman year at JUCO, and my pitching coach left for a position at Northwestern State University, and I gave him my word I would follow him. Where's the rest of that? And you didn't go, I'm guessing? I don't follow. My worst game as a pitcher. I had a lot of them. I had a lot of bad games. I was pitching a one-hit shutout through 3. In the 4th inning, in the top of the 4th, or maybe it was the top of the 3rd. I might have been pitching a one-hit shutout through 2 2/3. I think that's right. I can't remember. 3rd or the 4th, either way. I was pitching a 2-hit shutout versus the number 1 team in the conference. And with 2 outs, my center fielder drops a fly ball. I then walk a batter. My second baseman then boots a ball. I walk a batter. I strike the next guy out, and my catcher drops it, bringing a run home. I then get a pop-up to second base. There's miscommunication between my second baseman and shortstop. It falls. I give up a seeing eye single, and then my center fielder drops another ball, and I walk off the mound because my coach left me out there for 55 pitches that inning. He didn't even have anybody getting loose. He was so pissed at me. But it was my senior year, and at some point, you have to protect. I was our number 1 at that point. It was just like I felt disrespected that I was being asked to throw 55 pitches in an inning that I got out of 6 times, where half of our team are freshmen and just don't perform. Whatever. It was freezing. It was 38 degrees in Ashland, Ohio. Definitely one of the lower points. I don't like the idea that I showed up the coach, but I also just felt like I was getting taken advantage of for not, I don't know. It's not like I wasn't performing. And I also felt like I owed him one. The last game of the season, the year prior, my junior year, he took me on a trip. I should say he took me on a trip. I was a conference starter. I was a conference starter going into the last weekend of the season, and for whatever reason, we went on this trip, and he just decided to bench me. And I went from our number 2 to just not pitching a conference game and not coming out of the pen when the game was on the line in the final game of the series. So I was certainly holding on to that 1 year later. What's the most I've ever lost in one session? I lost 1 million playing heads up PLO versus Aussie Matt. What up, Lily? How you doing? I'm glad to see we recovered after that early blue screen of death. 600 of you have made it here. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Please, we appreciate it. For today's giveaway, head over to our Instagram at S4Y Academy. Leave a comment on the Kerstetter video and make sure you follow. That's all you have to do to qualify. All right, Willow G. I think it's about time that we play an all-in pot. I think we grip it and rip it here. We could debatably just 3-bet. I think Ace-Jack's a little too weak. I would consider 3-betting with like Queens, Kings, Aces. Oh no. How do we run into it, guys? Let's nail this. Let's just nail it. Let's just get there. Let's go, Jack ball. Jack 6. Jack 6-8. So many outs. Come on. Rip bracelet event. Not a very lucky day for us. We really ran into it. Oh, I didn't even show you guys. Here, I'll show you the replay. I will show you the replay since I messed that up. My apologies. Found ourselves with the 20 bigs. Folds to the cut, he opens. Pretty standard reshove with ace jack. We run smack dab into it. All the outs in the world to at least chop. And ace king holds. So much for putting a greater focus on the event. End of the day, poker doesn't give a shit. Berk, did you get drafted out of high school? I was never drafted. I was not that good. I topped out at 84. The fact that I was left-handed was the only thing that even gave me a collegiate career. Oh man, I'm feeling the lull that happens in the WSOP every single year, right? Like, you just don't make any fucking runs in the first 10 events, and it gets old quick, and it gets sad, and you don't want to play anymore, but you keep showing up day in and day out, and then out of the blue, shit starts to happen. Things start to fall in your lap. Next thing you know, you're deep in an event. You're down to 3 tables. You can feel it. It's a palpable moment. Everybody's chasing that big score. You're guaranteed reasonable money. You're guaranteed like the shot at free rolling the summer. And then it gets down to 2 tables. And now all of a sudden you're like 3/4 of the way to free rolling the summer. Then there's like 11 left and you're guaranteed like, you know, 45K. And it's like, okay, that's pretty much a free roll for anybody who's playing like 3Ks and below. Now all of a sudden you're 8, 9, 10 people away. Scooping a bracelet, scooping $500,000. That's not gonna happen online. We're not playing anything that big. But today's was big. Today's is gonna be like 200,000 the first. We're not in it anymore. They fucking got our ass. But what can you do? What can you do? Start the show. Thanks, Pin. Appreciate you having my back. I agree. He did deserve that one. Son of a bitch. See my love, we tell her that I miss her. No heart here. I think we start with a check. Never been to the UK. Haven't played poker there. I think we want to bet our hand for protection at this point. Maybe not. I think we would bet our Jack X's, not our 9X. Maybe we can check again. Berkey, how do we get WSOP to add heads up cash? They can't. It's a byproduct of 888. Their software just can't handle it. Oh man, we could have bluffed river, I guess. Could have bluffed river, I suppose. Not really a need though. Pitchers have long memories, especially starters, man. Relief pitchers, you're supposed to just like forget and bounce back, but like we're like scorned women, you know? We don't forget that shit. Fish says baseball's kind of like poker. The best time only has the smallest edge, and luck plays a role. That's why so many games are needed for the best teams to emerge. Yep, that's very true. I think the parallels between baseball and poker are like really absolute. They're very clear. They're very direct, one-to-one. Just that they're so rooted heavily in failure. You're constantly just like pushing 51, 40, 49 edges, hoping for results. No pair, no draw, no win. Sick. Corey Katai said, I faced Dylan Bedens in high school. Went 0 for 3 with a walk. Didn't strike out, though. He almost hit me in my head. First time seeing 95 live. Saw it, just couldn't catch up to it. Yeah, 95 is no joke, man. Jason says, would you ever bring in the catcher to close the elimination game of Super Regionals after being behind the plate for 8 innings? Up by 2, and that catcher's name is Buster Posey. I would put Buster Posey in any position to win a game for me. But strategically speaking, doesn't sound very optimal, Jason. Not really optimal at all. No. Said, so you're saying your worst inning pitched was 0 ERA, or 0 earned runs. No, I think I was responsible. Some of them had to be earned. They couldn't have all been unearned, I don't think. Though it's possible. My memory doesn't serve me that well. What's your favorite poker room to play in? Ivy's room. Definitely the Aria. But really, wherever the big game's running. Gonna have to give this one up. You gotta tell her that you love her. You gotta tell her so she knows. So she knows how much you need her. And that you miss her when she goes away from you. Did I recently win a tournament? I won the Turbo for 7,800. Wasn't very big. How do you qualify for the giveaway? Follow us on Instagram and leave a comment on the Kerstetter video. It's at S4Y Academy. And it echoes out my name. And I learned to stand up straight before I ever learned to fall. And I was sheltered in the shadows. Hefner running nice. It's my home. It's my home. It's where they'll bury me. It's my home. It's my home. It's gonna carry me down the road. I like all the people who are equating this Jamie video to baseball. I respect that. Berg, you gonna play ACR Venom at 7 million guarantee at the end of July? Depends. I'm not sure. We'll see how I feel. 30 days is a lot to commit to playing online every day. Shout out to my man Danny Williams. He was one of my friends and fellow pitchers in the Arizona Winter League in 2007. It's my home. All right, we're gonna announce the winners in 10 minutes. That's 5 minutes by the time you see this. So if you haven't already, head to our Instagram page, follow, leave a comment on the Kerstetter video to qualify for today's giveaway. And then I'll announce the 5% winner at the top of the hour. And if for some reason I bust this, I'll carry it over to tomorrow. I mean, if I bust this before I announce. Let's put it that way. Actually, I'll just carry it over tomorrow anyway, since it's only one event. Never get nervous, never get lost. It's a long, lonely hand. Rain of salvation, the house always wins, and it's a long, lonely land. You're running on empty, your feelings high. Get back, get back, get back. Your love's fire. Some of these are making me laugh, man. Oh my god, I found our winner. I found our winner. I gotta text Caleb. For you. Berkey, do you know how Aussie Matt made his endless supply of money? I don't. I know he was very crypto rich at one point. It's a long, long land. Speaking of putting Buster Posey at any position, he played a game for FSU where he played every position on the field for at least one out of the game. I always think it's funny whenever managers do that. Like, they just want to prove a point that they have the most versatile player in the world. If you're an Indians fan and you win the World Series this year, does that even count for breaking the slump? I think they're going to count it, man. As a Pirates fan, if they won the World Series, I would fucking count it. Jesus. Eugene says, I don't even know what to do with this. Berkey, you and 3 friends are about to have an old-fashioned gang fight against another 4-man poker crew. You have a pistol with 1 bullet, a baseball bat, a 4-inch pocket knife, and brass knuckles. Which one do you want? I think to answer this, I need to know if the opposition also has these exact same 4 weapons. I feel pretty handy with a baseball bat, I won't lie. It's only 1 bullet, man.
I mean, baseball is running okay.
Not baseball, baseball bat. And you told me you loved me. I know you lied. Cause you're giving your man nothing but blues to sing. And no objection to the sadness in his eyes. But it takes more than love to buy a wedding ring. Hiya. I think he was just very optimistic. Oh man, you guys are good with these comments. This was a good proposition. I'm gonna get endless entertainment out of this for sure. Pocket 4 is here on the button. 20 big blinds. I think this is a reshove. Rip Nico is one of the players we doubled through earlier. We 3-bet him when he opened up a similar stack. And he, oh no, sorry, it wasn't him. It was a player that we had busted. Cal Anderson joins our table, takes our left. We'll be playing an all-in pot here again, one way or another. Goodbye. What's my game thinking about? I think we just have to reshove here. He's opening off of 14. 8s are too good. No other play. Wins. I would say I regret the faux pas of saying that I wanted people to send a DM. That was clearly a mistake, for sure. I'm glad I retracted quickly. But the only one that I got was a joke from Shara that said, I went to catch fog today. Missed.
That's your favorite one?
It's the only one I got. I went to catch fog today. Missed. Right? Right? Missed. M-I-S-T. It's a play on words, guys. It's a play on words, right? Missed. Missed. M-I-S-S-E-D. I shouldn't have to explain this to you guys. Come on.
Just in case.
Come on, stick with me here. Missed. Fog is missed, right? All right, cool. We're gonna fold the 10-9. Bish says, what if Helmuth is on the opposing side? Don't pick the gun because he can dodge bullets, baby. That's fair. It's a very valid point. Far away you. Oh, we're so close to cracking 9,000 followers on Instagram. So close! Good luck, Brian. Said after losing the Ace King versus Ace 3 4 times, I'm about to cash my first MTT of the night. That's what I like to hear, man. We've now closed out the reentry period of the Berkey special. We're going to be defending the 10-9 suited. So-so flop. We'll be check calling one. Got it leveled in me. If we were deeper, we could consider a check raise. It's gonna be a little bit too difficult to navigate, and he's gonna have a ton of available equity on this texture. We're just gonna continue through a call. 8's a pretty good card for both range and hand. Should slow down a lot of his Ace King, Ace Queen, King Queen candidates. And now I think we just have a pretty standard block. We're gonna lose to better 10s. We should not really get raised here ever. We have plenty of 9-7 and Queen 9 in range. As well as 2 pairs, Jack 8, 10-8. Oh, those get counterfeit, I guess. We do have 5x in range though, which is nice. Berkey, do you have TikTok? S4Y has TikTok. We've actually been doing surprisingly well. So we've been posting Poker Out Loud clips. And they have like, some of them have like 35,000 views, which is kind of crazy. In my head, tell me. Let me see what our TikTok profile name is. Just solve for Y. Just solve for Y. Cal Kinnery says, Berkey, did you say that you finished Infinite Jest, or did you fail miserably after 10 attempts like the rest of us? So I've tried twice. The first time I failed about 33% of the way through. This last time, I was about 75% of the way through the book in January, and I decided to tackle a 20-book list that I wanted to get through by the end of February, and I did, but in accomplishing that goal, I didn't want to go back to Infinite Jest. So right now, I'm about 75% of the way through the book, and I haven't yet finished. And I don't really feel inclined to do so right now, which is shitty. It's a crazy book though, man. I can't really even follow all the threads, to be quite honest. And I keep spinning. I keep spinning. I have to let these deuces go. Takes me for a ride. And I can't understand what we're trying to hide. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. We're just one table and no big deal. Missed. Yeah, Joe gets it. Go on and tell me that it's never too late. Missed. In my head. 25 blinds here with Ace Jack. It'll be an open if folded to. I think we can 3-bet my game, though he's been playing rather snug. Busto bracelet, Dennis. It was a 2x re-entry. We busted all 3 bullets.
Got it. Thank you.
Go get it, Stanley. Stanley, go. Go.
Stanley, come. Stanley, come.
Do, 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 do. Really favorable flop for us. Big blind defense. We don't need to bet large. This is for denial, protection, / value. A lot of purposes behind this bet. We're just a pretty big favorite with this hand on this texture. When we bet this small, we can face a myriad of check raises from Queen X to 7-8 to 8-9 to some 5X. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back in 5. Try to make a little bit of a run here.
And we can't really go so large to commit. I think we would just be trying to go for same size, somewhere in the neighborhood of 700. And really it would just be for keeping up frequency's sake. The other alternative is that I just call and include this hand into a bit more of a robust value range through flat calls and hope that every now and again Jesse is flatting me heavy. So if Jesse happened to have flatted a hand like ace queen, 2 10s, or obviously some hands that beat me, he'll then be able to kind of see through what may be a bit of a diluted range by Nick and pull the trigger, which will give me a lot of clarity on the value of my hand by the time it comes back to me. So I'm going to elect to proceed through a call.
So one of the issues with deciding that I'll play a hand more often than I'll normally play it, because the razor is a bit looser, is that sometimes we get into spots where people can open up their squeezing range a bit behind, and then I have to put more money in the pot than I originally planned to. In the case of my particular hand, I don't think that that's so much of an issue, because it plays quite well in a multi-way pot. I'm in position on both players. So this is not a situation I'm too worried about. One of the interesting things I noticed is that in a prior hand, Nick's out of position re-raise was something like 6 times the size of the raise, and it wasn't a squeeze. And this time it's only 5 times the size of the raise, and it's with a collar in between. So it might just be because last time he was in the big blind, and this time he's in the small blind. But that's something that I definitely want to take a note of and pay attention to. But because I do think that people tend to, for whatever emotional or whatever reason, they tend to take a smaller sizing with some hands and a larger sizing with other hands. And I think more often than not, the smaller sizing is a bit of a weaker portion of the range, and the large sizing is a stronger portion of the range, or it's a mix of both. And sometimes it can go the other way. But anyways, it's something that I like to note. I'm going to call. This is a really easy call now once Matt's called.
All right, so actually going to start with you. You're going to open jacks, very natural. Jesse has a clear call with pocket 7s and hijack pretty much. Can sometimes 3-bet, but this is going to be mostly going to be a high frequency call. Nick in the small blind with pocket kings in probably the strongest formation of no limit hold'em, which is like under the gun versus small blind, or at least in this situation because we're short-handed, it's going to be low jack versus small blind, but still a very strong formation as it pertains to the pulse of the game. Like you're opening in what they call the 1 hole and versus the small blind. So a very strong formation. He chooses to go 200, which I think is going to be really natural because he's not going to be 3-betting this formation that often. And then the action folds to you, and you're going to say that this is kind of like a weird hand to have, because you're kind of at the bottom of your value range. If you 4-bet get in, like how well is that performing? Folding obviously is not an option, so you choose to call.
Did you say 1 hole because you heard Matisoff say it on Poker After Dark yesterday?
I heard him say that, but I also just remember a hand a long time ago on High Stakes Poker that Phil Hellmuth called it a 1 hole, and versus Antonius Mangiari. He limped in the 1 hole. That's why he thought that he can fold the second nut flush.
Sure. Yeah, so I think all of that's true. I hate this hand. I remember it very vividly now. Yeah, I think that like it's easy for me to get swept up in the fact that like I've been playing a ton of hands very aggressively, winning most, and now I have Jackson facing a squeeze. Right? It's easy to just get swept up in the fact that like, hey, maybe Nick's out of line, and if Nick didn't have kings, we would have gotten squeezed by Chewy, who had ace 3 of diamonds. But you kind of have to like take a step back and just say like, at the end of the day, do I have a stack off candidate?
Right.
At 400 big blinds.
Right.
And the answer is no.
Yeah.
So when that answer becomes no, we just have to say like, we don't get to expand this far, no matter how out of line everyone thinks we are, unless like Nick is a drunken whale, in which case now he might have ace jack and like just take it to the fill. So we're gonna have to play poker here, and unfortunately for me, I have like a nightmare scenario ahead of me based on just what happens on flop, turn, and river.
Everything else pretty standard. You're gonna call. That's gonna bring along Jesse with hot and cold hand. If you've been following along how we've been talking lately. And let's see what happens on the flop. The flop's gonna come down Queen 8 deuce, and let's see what happens.
Okay, both Matt and Jesse came along. That's not a problem. I think I probably prefer 2 calls with my exact hand, being this high up. Flop is queen high, disconnected. It's pretty good. I think I have a lot of options for sizings. I don't think I can really make a mistake with how I choose to play this hand. So that said, it kind of becomes a question of how do I think I'm going to potentially be able to exploit their tendencies best. I think in general, Matt's probably going to be over-aggressing. I don't know a ton about Jesse's game, but I think it's pretty sound. I think what I'm going to do is start by checking here, just in general. Anytime I think that the enemy as a unit is going to default towards aggressing a little too heavily, it's going to incentivize me to probably allow them to put more money in the pot voluntarily. So in an effort not to like overcomplicate things beyond that, I think I just need to check and let the strategy develop past that point. I think it goes back a lot to just the conversations that that have been going on in the mindset department of what I was talking about off screen, which is that it's really not worth talking about every single nuanced branch until you're there. So just start with check and let it develop.
I would say that this is about an average flop for a multi-way scenario where we hold an underpair to the board. I would have actually preferred to see Nick start betting here, just simply due to the fact that this board's rather dynamic in nature, and if it goes unchanged, like say it just bricks off with no hearts, he's going to have a very difficult time getting 3 streets with a hand like ace-queen or better, especially because some of those hands have to check some of the time in order to protect him from being out of position in a 3-way pot. So when he does start checking here, I do believe that he is pretty protected and can have me beat at some frequency, as well as just have a fair amount of equity against me. That said, I'm
like shit. I'll spare you guys the results. Don't worry, we get them later in the season. All right, it's winner's time. It's winner's time. Poker Odyssey is still picking the 1%ers. I'm going to announce the 5% winner. Let me, let's give them the theme for this one. Where is this playlist? Where are you, Leroy? Where are you? All right. Joe LaFuria. Joe, L-A-F-U-R-I-A. I'm DMing you as we speak. You're the winner at 5% today. You got 5% of my action in the Berkey special. Your comment of Jamie finally answered the age-old question, how do you play ace-queen, is goddamn gold. It's funny. It calls back to the vlogcast, which Shin talks about every week. And it even touches on a little bit of chat pro voice in there. You know, I kind of heard it. I heard it a little bit in the chat pro voice in tone. So congratulations. I appreciate you. I respect the comment. It was very well done. Apparently I can't DM you from the computer, so I'm gonna need to do it from my phone. Give me 1 second. 5% of today's 75K action. Joe LaFuria, congratulations. Sent you a DM, hit me up. We'll square away once I win this bad boy. Rahul Ruiz says, Berkey, please don't tell us they got you up on that TikTok doing some dumb dance. Hey man, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I'm here to do it. I'm here to entertain. Ben, you were supposed to comment, but I saw your comments. You're straight. Don't worry about it. It's just a matter of if you get picked at this point. Holding on to me, oh but honey, you. Zip Drive says, why doesn't he ever play the bracelet events? I tune in every day at 7:05 after the delay, but there's never a bracelet event. That's because I'm always fucking out, man. I'm always fucking out. I make it with a mint stack past the re-entry period and then just bust. 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 No need to slow it down. It just happens. You were running when the sun came up. All right, we're gonna let that one go. All right, we're gonna announce the winners based on IG names. Yep. KDZ says the intermission videos volume is so low. All right, I'll crank it up next intermission, assuming we make another intermission. I'm feeling good though. I'm gonna make a run for my man Joe. You were holding on to me, all the honey. You were so right about me. Now Play Me says, I got a joke way better than that for you. All right, we'll type it in the chat. I'll read it. Limp here. We have 23. Okay, I think we could very viably just shove here for value. Slash denial, but it's big risk for marginal reward. I think checking just performs pretty well. I don't mind taking the lead here. But our hand actually serves pretty well as a bluff catch. 5 of diamonds is nice for us. Now I definitely think we get to start betting. He could be protected and check back some diamond draws here. We're completely uncapped. We could just be full a lot. Cake Sesh, Mr. Shane Carter, Parker Semin, Up Spawnage, and Bite King 19. Please respond to Poker Odyssey's DM. I know who Bite King is at least. That's Andrew Piper. Not really sure how to pronounce it, to be quite honest. Shout out to my man living out of his car. What are you doing during COVID, man? You still living in your car? I don't think that's a thing, is it? That's maybe you're safer than the rest of us, to be honest. I don't know. I'm willing to hear about it, though. Do. give that one up. Yo, I like that you guys are making Caleb's job hard. Put this man to work, you know? Drake says, did you listen to Leroy Towns before streaming? What I think Drake is actually asking is, did I eat, sleep, shower, or masturbate before streaming? And the answer to all four of those is resoundingly yes. It's the routine, bro. It's a resounding yes. That is just pre-game ritual, you know? Can't be coming in here dirty. Hey Berkey, gonna see if a friend of mine with a ton of IG followers can send them over to you and S4Y. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, really trying to press that 10K mark. I just want to have the swipe up feature, you know? It'd be nice if we could advertise that we're about to go live, we're about to do a vlog, we're about to do this, we're about to do that. Just swipe up. As of now, we can't. And that's brutal. It's equally as brutal that I'm also stuck at like 9,000 followers and can't seem to. It's weird. I like shot up to 9,000 so fast and then just got like snap stuck. Oh no. Oh no. die. Logan Norman says, what qualifies you as a pro in poker? You earn your living at it, I suppose. Seems pretty reasonable. To the fans. You can pay for your sin. Good luck, Jason. Says he's jumping in the hot 56K guarantee Poker Stars in PA. Let's go. Fellow PA native. These spots are awkward. I think we just have a call. Check shove is pretty viable here at 2 SPR. We block a jack pretty heavily. Leading 3-ways actually would have probably been fine, but getting raised is a nightmare. Yeah, I don't think we have a choice. I just think we have too much equity to fold. Calling is pretty brutal. Sets up a weird SPR. We get denied our equity a lot on the turn. I'm questioning our fold equity. I don't know how much we have, but we do heavily block a jack. We're forcing him to wake up. We have backdoors. Even when called, I think we're going to be like 25% or so. So good luck us. Yeah, Club 9. God damn it. Oh no. They really did it to us today, guys. They really did it to us. We played an abbreviated schedule, only 2 events. Just the bracelet event and the 215. Never got above starting stack in the bracelet event. Only had 3 starting stacks in the 215. That spot's a little bit thin when we face half pot there. I do think that he probably has some pretty good hands at that point. But the pot's pretty big also. The pot at that point is 16,000. We have 22,000 behind. Gut shot and over that we hope is live. We block the jack pretty heavily. You know, when we run into aces, we're still about 20% equity. Just an unfortunate day altogether. I really appreciate you guys all hanging out. We're actually just hitting peak viewership right now, so I hate to cut it early, but there's nothing to play. I missed the 500, which was the only other thing on the schedule, and I'm not going to force it. I got another, 21 days of this, I think. So we're going to come back strong again tomorrow. Taking a look ahead, I think tomorrow is it a freeze out? No. What is tomorrow? It's a Friday. It's got to be a re-entry. It's a Friday. Oh, it's the monster stack, guys. Guys, it's the monster stack. It's the never-ending event in the live realm. In the online realm, I imagine it'll take the same time as all the other ones. So the starting stack in this is 40,000 chips. But the blinds start a little bit higher, start at quarter 50. That's still a lot, man. You start with almost 1,000 big blinds. That's pretty fucking wild. 15-minute levels. So we'll be coming in hour 2, where we'll have almost 200 big blinds by the time we register. On that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope for a longer, better, more fulfilling stream, if you will, in the words of my man Landon Tice. Until then,